Hey, everybody. Hi, we're live.
Good evening.
Hey. So Mark and I decided that he's kind of dragged me begrudgingly back into the conscious living shadow. But what I'm going to be excited about is that we get to talk about topics that really are near and dear to us in our lives, and we get to share some of our insights with you. I had a radio show for 10 years on KCNR 1460 AM radio, and then it went to FM, and then it was always streaming. So I've been doing this show for a long time, and Mark would come in and co-host with me periodically. And then for about a year, was it a year that we did it together?
Yes.
About a year we did it together, and then life happened and all things got crazy. So we decided that we would come into we're on Instagram. Hey Jay, how are you? And then do the live on the YouTube as well. And just have maybe 15 or 20 minutes to kind of introduce ourselves again and what we're going to be doing with the Conscious Living Show.
Yeah. So I'll try not to frustrate you too much.
Okay.
See, I have a bad habit of comparing things to automobiles. Like I might say to Nancy that tonight I'm feeling like I've got a lot of horsepower.
Well, that's always good. You can't have too much horsepower.
Well, it's easy to ask you to go for a ride.
That's true.
Yeah.
Who's driving?
Huh? Well, we'll flip for that. And I have the won't go flat tires.
Are those are hard tires?
Well, we can pump them up as hard as you want. Anyway, so sometimes I frustrate her. So if I'm frustrating her, send the comments so that you think I'm getting off track here. But we like to have a lot of fun.
All right. I don't know that we're live over here. I think something
that's
didn't.
A nice one there.
Yeah, I don't think it happened. So
anyhow, so yeah, we're going to try to have some fun, but conscious living is a serious topic. And it's really clearly the best way to improve your life and your lifestyle. And we just have a great time with it. All
right. So I'm going to try to get us live on Instagram here. So hold on. So you talk to our Jay's here. He's asking how we're doing.
Well, we're doing great. I mean, I have to say, being confined at home has its benefits.
Like what?
Well, we manage to keep each other entertained. It just depends on who's driving. No, I think that it is challenging to be at home so much, and the coronavirus is surging now. So be safe over the holiday. This is a time to realize that the vaccine is coming. Herd immunity, which is the number of people getting infected, is increasing. So, your goal is to be the last one infected, because a few people do have some serious side effects from the coronavirus. But that being said, we want to be a little more upbeat about how to take advantage of being home alone with your best friend and partner.
Yeah. So what kind of things do you think you need to do?
Well, each segment I was going to include something that might be fun for you to do at home with your partner. It's always good to have new ideas of things. Mm-hmm. And so one of the things that we enjoy doing is a fashion show. Occasionally, I encourage Nancy to go through her closet and pull out all the clothing that maybe she hasn't had an opportunity to wear for some time, and to do a little fashion show for me. And as we get a little more provocative, it is way more fun if you just find an old digital camera that you can use safely. Got to be careful about using these iPhones. I've had one time when I whooped on a picture that was in the phone, and I think we all have that fear. Well, it was a for your eyes only picture, and it got kind of broadcast over the family thread.
Oh, that's right.
and
thank God it wasn't a bad one.
Yeah, it was medium bad.
Yeah.
But anyway, so use an old digital camera with a SIM card so that you're safe, and have some fun taking pictures with a fashion show. and the guys can participate too. The girls like to see us, and it will be fun, provocative, and it will give you some ideas about what each other enjoys. It's always good to know what your partner enjoys.
So I can't remember the button I pushed to go live on Instagram. They changed the whole thing around, and I'm frustrated right now. I can't find it.
Well, let's just put it down and do this one.
We'll just take care of ourselves here. Okay. So Jay, you got us.
Yeah. So part of being conscious with your life is working towards not having judgment.
How do you do that? Because I just had an incident today with a friend of mine on Instagram, who's this really beautiful, sexy, very bright, enthusiastic educator, and she made a video about talking about gender and gender fluidity and non-binary, and just really put in some effort to try to help people understand these concepts because they're challenging for people. And she got the meanest people. It's like these, and I'm going to say it, but it's a lot of old white guys.
Well, it doesn't matter who they are.
No, but
they're just
it's like this segment of the population that's so angry, and they had the audacity to tell her, just shut up and keep taking off your clothes because we don't care about what you're thinking or your opinion. And this is misogyny. This is like men who really hate women, who just view them as sex objects, things to be had or used, and no respect for them as human beings or the mind. And so I piped in to support her and just went, hey, since when did you guys decide that if a woman is beautiful and smart and caring and charismatic and she takes her clothes off, that somehow you can't have all that?
It surprises me that you're such a strong advocate.
Does it? I know. It's shocking.
Yeah, Nancy, we have a coffee cup that says "feminist" on it, and every time I use it, she laughs. But it is time for all of us to be careful with our judgment. That's terrible. But she ultimately has the power because they're obviously on her site for a reason, and she's got the delete button.
Yeah.
So she's all powerful, and I think as it starts to get around that, that pretty soon, you won't have any sites that are provocative because you're misbehaving. Maybe they'll change their behavior.
Well, I like what you said. Well, she's just going to stop taking her clothes off.
Well, that's true too.
All she's going to get is her opinions. No more sexiness.
Yeah. I
mean, I've definitely tapered back on my posts and the way I present myself because of the abuse I was taking. It's like, I don't need this.
Well, if you don't want any information, just go to Google Images.
Right.
And you don't have to, you don't have
to listen to those things.
Any text or concepts. You don't have to try to get to know that person for who they are and what they believe in. But so her only recourse, unfortunately, on social media is to hit the delete button. That is frustrating.
Yeah.
But delete, move on, and hone the group into a smaller subset of people that really are interested in your opinions.
I think the judgment word, I've talked about this a lot on my show over the years, and in yoga, we talk a lot about judgment and what that really indicates when we feel the judgment arising within us. It's very important for us to pause and look at, where does that come from? What belief is it? Is it a fear? Is it a regret? What does it stem from? And try to understand our own judgments privately rather than imparting them on others in a mean and cruel way. It doesn't look good for the person that's doing the judging. I think that's, if you're trying to make yourself feel superior by judging with somebody else for what they've said or done, or, how they're presenting on their social media, it makes you just look like a sad, mean person. It doesn't support your idea that you're somehow superior. So we do need to take responsibility for our own judgments, and we can learn a lot from our judgments. The slut shaming thing, I've learned a lot about the programming I've had as a girl and a woman in this world about the idea of being a slut, and how women can be some of the worst slut shamers to each other. And where does that come from? And where did we teach that? And, I know my mom definitely promoted that by telling me, that I shouldn't dress a certain way and I should act a certain way and I shouldn't say things. Don't make him mad. Don't, what you're wearing, you don't want to be taken advantage of. That kind of thing that makes women feel like if they express themselves in a sexy, overt way, that they're asking to be abused. And I think that's the slut shame danger, is that nothing a woman ever does, says, wears, or locates herself says she wants to be abused or gives anybody permission to abuse her. And for men, the same thing.
Yeah, slut shaming is tricky. I would never make you feel bad about it.
No, you embrace it.
I do.
Yes, bring it on.
I enjoy it.
Bring on the slut.
And the adventuresomeness, I think, the feeling passionate, feeling free in your body, free to express yourself. And there's nothing that stops that quicker than judgment or shaming, which is just judgment.
Right.
So I am interested when people reply that way, to try to understand what in the world is causing that. And I think there are so many times that instead of just saying, gosh, that's not how I feel, that goes against what I think, trying to understand where they're coming from is important. But when a person's just angry and mean and disrespectful, that you're not going to have that conversation with them. But in other areas, political areas, gun ownership and all the shaming, the dress codes, all of those things. Those conversations can be quite interesting. We're going to have an interesting 4 years, and Roe versus Wade, that's going to be another interesting conversation coming up, I think. So hopefully we can be civil.
Hopefully we can just
and have good conversations.
I don't know why we have to keep having that conversation. I think there's nothing about men's bodies and men's personal rights over their autonomy that we have to keep having a conversation about.
Well, I think
maybe we need to put one on the table.
I think more complicated than that is that there's a large group of women that are blocking and are a problem for that belief. It's not men. It's the other,
but I'm
women.
saying, but I'm not saying it's just women doing the bidding for it, but it's only about women. So patriarchy and misogyny does come out through women too. And like I said, about my own work I've done on the slut shaming part that was taught to me growing up. That's patriarchy coming through women to women and perpetuating that conversation. So the fact that we still think that women don't have the right to choose what happens with their bodies, and even in the case of sterilization procedures, that both men and women don't have the right in some states to choose for themselves, that they have to have the permission of their spouse. I think that's absurd. It's that we even, that has to be even a legal issue. It's like, it's your body, you get to decide.
Well, and part of that specific conversation has opened up the opposite. It used to just be the women that needed to ask for permission. Now men need to ask for permission, and that gives them a lot more insight to how that works. So I think that those experiences are important for us to understand how the other side feels.
So I just want to address a listener observer tonight, Brian. Hi, Brian. Nice to see you back. And Brian says he's single because apparently he's just not good enough for love. And Brian, I wonder where you learned that. That has to come from outside, because children by nature think they're pretty amazing and think that they're all about love. So I would say find somebody that you can talk to that can help you override those messages that may have been given to you when you were younger that are still keeping you from having the life that you desire. Because I'm a firm believer that every human being is deserving and worthy of love.
Mm-hmm.
So, there's lots of people that can help you kind of unearth what's keeping you stating that as a matter of fact, rather than just an idea that was planted that wasn't true. So that would be my suggestion to you, because you're obviously worthy of love.
Yeah, slow down, and when there's all kinds of saying, when it's least expected, it happens. When you're not trying so hard, it'll happen. And of course, the best person to fall in love with is your best friend. So these things do take time to develop, and you can have many best friends. So and they don't have to be of the same sex. I think we all fall into that, where guys have guy friends and girls have girlfriends. But you can be best friends with a lot of people of the opposite sex, and then Shazam, maybe somebody Shazam, somebody you start to feel the energy coming back, and then that would be maybe the beginning of something that's more solid and isn't as disappointing as you probably experienced along the way.
We tried not to fall in love. It didn't work. We failed.
Well, you did make me sign up every year.
I did. But yeah, I think, Mark and I are definitely just our own personal story, is that we became best friends. For a long time, we were friends, and we just had a great admiration for each other and respect.
Nancy was writing a book on alternative relationships.
Well, that was after we, sealed the deal, but we just hadn't gotten married. I was never getting married again. That didn't work out either.
See, you never know.
You don't.
You just don't know how the twists and turns are going to occur. But one thing's for sure, it is much easier if you do find the love of your life the first time you fall deeply in love. And that isn't the experience for most people, which is another hard path. But sometimes you just have to have those starter relationships to learn.
Trainer relationships.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
First relationships.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay to fall in love and fall out of love, and even to have your heart broken. We survive those. That's part of the learning about what it is that's important to you, and how to be a partner, in a relationship.
But try to avoid that. So take your time and work into that. That's a good question. All right.
Yeah. Thanks, Brian, for chiming in, and also Jay for piping in. So we're going to keep this to another couple of minutes, and then we're going to try to come back every week and talk to you about just life and love and happiness and health. Mark is a medical doctor, internal medicine, and I'm a sexologist. So we kind of are the yin and yang of healthcare. So we can answer some general questions and certainly give you guidance on how to get what you're looking for in life.
But more importantly, each week we're going to give you an idea on how to spice it up. So get out those old digital cameras, get the SIM card. Don't do it with your phone. Gotta be careful.
Yeah, I kind of had a moment the other night where I didn't realize that my phone photos were available on the living room television. And so my cat accidentally hit the button that brought up my phone photos. And it was a good thing that it was just Mark and I, because oh, Linda, hi, I miss you. Love you.
Yeah, it was quite entertaining.
Yeah, so the photos that came up, I was really glad that it was just Mark there.
So if you have an Apple TV and an Apple phone, and you sign in on the same Apple site or on your
the
phone
account,
I can find that word. If you're signing on the same account and you hit the photo on the Apple TV, boy oh boy,
bingo.
It's Maybe that'll be next week's way to jazz up your life.
They say that's entertainment.
It's a great way to see what's on your phone.
Oh. Yeah.
Didn't have to go sneak and try to look on her phone, just right up there on the TV.
Put it up on the TV. Oh my God. All right. Well, we will be back after Thanksgiving. So we just have to give a little word about Thanksgiving. You know, one is that obviously there's a lot of value in taking a day out of the year to show thanks and gratitude for the life that you're living, whatever it may be, and to let the people know that you love them, that you do love them, and that you're grateful for them in your lives. This isn't the year to risk your life or their lives just to be in the same room. We've been living with this for 9 months, this crazy virus. We're this close to a vaccine. I mean, really this close. And we all want to be able to do everything we can to make sure we're here with our family next year. So bypassing this holiday this year, we can zoom in. We're going to do that with our kids. We're not going to be with all of our kids. So we're going to have a Zoom dinner party with them and know that we're doing the right thing for our community. California today had 18,000?
Correct.
18,000 new cases. Our hospital has doubled in its numbers. This isn't the time for gatherings. Honestly, this just isn't.
One of the other things that seems to happen when these things are planned and they're so important is that people in the group who start to feel bad and know that they shouldn't go, because they're feeling bad, will the denial come up and they'll say, well, that's probably an allergy, or that's just it's something else, and they'll minimize it, not consciously but sometimes unconsciously, and then the virus is out and about. Just had some people that went on a hunting trip, and the guy just did not want to give up that hunting trip with his friends that he does, once every couple of years, and they all got sick. So, it is hard at the last minute to make those changes. But if you're living consciously, you can be honest, and everyone will understand that you're actually acting in their best interest as well as yours, because you don't want to feel responsible for anyone else's health. It's hard enough to be taking care of yourself. It's even tougher when you feel responsible for somebody else in your family. Yeah,
agreed. Yeah. So, find another way to be in contact with your families and your friends, and know that it's just one day. You can do a little turkey or a Cornish game hen or a chicken for all of it. I mean, it's really, the point is that it's a day to give thanks. And it is not the day to put your whole family at risk. And I don't want you to feel guilty if you've already there, you already decided. But please wear your masks if you're in the same house. Open the doors and windows to get ventilation. Stay your distance. Don't be hugging and kissing on each other. That's like the worst thing you could be doing, because that negative test you might have had only told you that day. It doesn't tell you the next day and the next day, because it's just a snapshot. And you may not have had enough virus present to show up on a lab test. So understand that that a negative test doesn't mean you don't have the virus. A positive test means you do. So it's really, we're this close. Really, people, we're this close to a vaccine. Yeah. This isn't going to be forever. We can forfeit this 1 year of holidays together to have the next 10 or 20. It just isn't worth it. So that's my spiel.
It's very important to make it to Christmas Day so you can hear Nancy sing her Christmas song.
Oh yeah, Mark wrote a song for me to sing. All right, we'll see about. All right, we'll see about that.
Think about that. We'll talk to you later.
All right, have a great Thanksgiving. Remember that we're going to be here. Maybe we'll today is Monday. Maybe we should do this on Monday evenings.
Sounds good.
Okay, so we'll just plan on doing this Monday evenings and spend some time with you. And if you have questions or comments or topics you'd like us to cover, please put them in the comments, send me an email. You can go to my website, drnsp.com, and send me any confirmation or information through there that you'd like us to cover. We're here for you. And so, you matter to us. Please be safe, take care of each other, and happy Thanksgiving.
You bet. Check in for our next idea on how to sex up your life.
Yeah.
Get those cameras out.
All right. Bye.